I'm Dawn Crouch, and we're here today, or I'm here today, with Paige Landreneau, who is a dancer with ABT. So what we're talking about, and this is in relation to the auditions, competitions, and intensives, is the one thing that we should work on before we go to any audition, before we try out for anything, before we do any intensive, is what, Miss Paige?
First Arabesque.
First Arabesque. And First Arabesque is a perfect demonstration. If a teacher just saw someone do a First Arabesque, she can make a pretty good assessment about what kind of dancer that person is, right? And I mean, sad to say, and you say, oh, but I can do turns really well, or I can do pirouettes really well. And that's great. But the one thing, if you're going to send in one photo, it's of a First Arabesque. So there are things you can do to improve a First Arabesque. But first of all, let's just look at a First Arabesque. Miss Paige, would you show us a First Arabesque? Okay. Shoulders and hips, body aligned, posture, and balance. Thank you. Let me move over here so you can really see Miss Paige's Arabesque. Yes. And yes, we are in the garage today. Thank you. Now, one of the exercises that I say you should work on in the book and is a PK to a First Arabesque. Now, PKs are also something that's very indicative of whether you have had good training or bad training. Can you show us some of what not to do in a PK? Like if you're going to do a PK to an Arabesque from there, show me a, right, well that's a body align, that's the whole bit. A lot of times what I see is somebody bending their knee and kind of planting their toe. And can you show me that? And planting their toe and then kind of rising up to an Arabesque. This is what you do not want to do, okay? You want to step. Why don't you stand first position right there, just an easy first position. And then demi-plie. And then do a tendu as if you're going to do a piqué. Now, you see where Paige's toe is. Well, maybe you don't. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. You see where Paige's toe is. And you think, oh, that's where she has to step. But that's not where she has to step. She's going to point and she's going to reach and go forward. Okay. Show us that again, Miss Paige. And reach and go forward. And this is something that you can do this at home. You can do this to a kitchen counter, you can do this to a wall, you can do this in your garage, but it's really important to do. You step out onto a straight knee, and if you're going to step on point, you step straight on point. Or if you're going to step on half point, you go straight to half point. So you can practice this so that you feel secure with where your Arabesque is. Now, and you can test whether you're on balance. Okay, do it, and then, Ms. Paige, and then show me how it's not on balance. Ready? And, right, if you're pulling back on this bar, okay, thanks, I don't want to see you do it wrong. No. Okay. But if you're not on balance, you're going to feel yourself pulling on that bar, okay? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to feel your hands resting. You want to get to a balance point. Okay, try it again. And demi-plie and push. Good. Try it again. And demi-plie and you reach beyond where your toe is pointing. You never go to where your toe is pointing or bring your foot back underneath you. You always reach out for the Arabesque. Because that first Arabesque, if you have a first, look at all the variations. First Arabesque is almost in every variation, is this correct? And a lot of times it's the beginning, and a lot of times it's the end. So it's an essential step. It's something that you must learn. And it's something that you can really make an impression with somebody if you've done it correctly. So really remember the PK to Arabesque is just as important as the Arabesque. And you're always going to, your reach is going to exceed your grasp there. That's a Robert Barrett Browning quote, but it's true. You reach and then you push. You push out, and you push out to get your hip over your heel, which goes back to our posture and our balance discussion. But that is an exercise you can do very simply. Don't have to be super warmed up. You can do that in the grocery store aisle, which I have done that, and you probably have done that too. But let's do Arabesque down the aisle and see who can balance the longest. Yes. So do it one more time, and I just do it from fifth position because most people will do it from fifth position. Okay? And demi-plie and push. Notice her shoulders, her hips are even. She's right over the ball of her foot. Thank you, Miss Page. Thank you, and I hope this helps you in your auditions, competitions, and intensives. Cultivate your first Arabesque. Thank you.